Hey guys, I need to get another run in on my Raider since I fixed the ball diff, or at least I hope it did. I did a short run, about 5 minutes on pavement, but then I broke a steering arm and the end link on it and had to cut the run short. So this time I'm going to try to replicate what melted the gears last time when I was running the car hard out at a baseball field, and we'll see how it does. I hope to get a good 15 or maybe even 20-minute run in. I have my Ovonic Shorty. It's a 4600 milliamp hour battery, and this Raider is so light. It provides really good run times. The Raider only weighs 2 pounds 6 ounces, whereas my Ultima is a little closer to 3 pounds. My Big Brute was, I want to say, like 4.5, and I haven't weighed my Arma Big Rock, but it is a brute. That thing's got to be close to 6 pounds. I'll put information on the weights of the cars in the description of the video, but the Raider, because it is so light, it's really efficient and a lot of fun to drive. It's really an asset that it's light, be it that it feels a bit like a toy and is not as strong as some of the other cars. So I'm gonna get this thing buttoned up and get it out here and get a little rip in. Hopefully I don't get chased off the field. Okay, here we go. Anybody new to my channel, this Raider has a 18-tooth pinion gear, a 32-tooth idle gear. It tops out at about 57 miles an hour on a cheap 3S battery. I'm running 2S today, which is plenty for off-road, and it's running a Surpass Hobby 4370 kV brushless setup. It's a 380 size motor and a 540 can and a 60 amp ESC. put that bumper back on there. I popped the gearbox open just to take a look in there and make sure everything looked as it should. And the best I can tell, things are doing good. It does get warm in here. The motor's obviously warm, the pinion's warm. I mean, they're not hot, but everything in there is kind of warm. I guess there's a fair amount of friction, but probably nothing alarming. But that gap that's supposed to be between, the gap that's supposed to be here seems to be good, the best I can tell. I don't know if that's more play than it used to have or not though. All right, I'll go ahead and run it for a couple more minutes. Oops. Oh, there's somebody mowing the grass. I'm probably gonna get annoyed, so I gotta cut this short. But that was a pretty long run. And let me check the heat on this thing. They have the field all prepped for a game tonight, and they're probably gonna be a little annoyed. So yeah, I need to take off, I think. I mean, it's definitely hot. The motor's hot. So there's some friction in there, but I think we're okay. That's it for now. All right, I just got back from running this car. I probably stopped running it less than 10 minutes ago. And things did get warm. I don't know if that's a problem though. I didn't really obsess about the temperature of the gearbox before I did this conversion. The pin that goes through here and the bearings was quite warm. It's since cooled down. Again, I don't have really a background there to know if that is unusual for running this hot of a setup. At 2S, this car goes about, with these smaller tires, I'm guessing about 35 miles an hour. This is not my fastest battery, but it has really good run times. Again, it's the Ovonic 4600 Shorty. And there it is. I don't like to run this car too much out in the baseball field like that, just because it gets so covered in dirt and I just feel guilty doing it. But seemed to hold up well. I think it's fixed. I don't know if I'd want to run it 20 minutes, full out, just in case something did get so hot that it could melt the plastic in here around the bearing or something like that. But it certainly ran a lot better than the time that it melted down after 4 or 5 minutes. So the improvements are quite noticeable, and hopefully it's a permanent fix. It's really nice how both tires grip into the dirt, and it's not like the open diff where one would just sit there and spin. I probably could tighten this diff up a little bit, but I don't run the Raider all the time, and I think for my purposes, this is a great little setup. And the battery was warm, but not hot. The motor got pretty warm, but again, not hot. It's about 70 degrees outside today. And yeah, it seemed pretty happy. And I just wanted to share it out with you guys that we're considering this ball diff upgrade. And I'll post a link in the video description of the upgrade. I have a bunch of videos on it, but it's a Tamiya unit and with some minor modifications that fit in my car. I do have one guy I talked to on Facebook Messenger that tried this, and for whatever reason, his gearbox was tighter than mine, and one other guy that's done this that I know about, and he was having clearance problems with the differential. I don't know if his gearbox is somehow warped or why his was different than the two that I know were successful, but I can't promise this will work in every Raider, but it seems to be so far okay in mine. Probably need to get a couple more runs in it to really test the durability, but just wanted to share this with you guys. Take care. All right, I want to take a look and see how much of the battery I used over the 10 or 15 minutes I was running the car. I'll put in here how long I actually ran it once I figure it out. But let's go ahead and we'll put this to storage voltage and see how far off we are. All right, it's at 7.26 volts, and storage, I think it's like 7.7. So it ran down pretty far. That would be like 3.6 volts per cell, 3.6 and a half, 3.65. I think that's right. Hard to do math off the top of my head. So it still had some capacity in it for sure, but I probably used up, I don't know, 3/4 of it or so. These Ovonic batteries, they don't have a ton of storage capacity above storage voltage, but on the lower half, they have quite a bit. So, it's good to run these down, down to 3.4, 3.5 volts per cell, because there's a lot of storage down in that lower range. And as you can see, I got pretty good run times here and could have got several more minutes out of this battery. Okay, it took about 1,300 milliamp hours to get it back up to storage voltage. This battery holds about 2,900 milliamp hours below storage voltage, so it looks like I used about 1,600 milliamp hours on the low end, and the total storage of this battery is a true 4,600 milliamp hour battery. So that would mean that, what did I use? About a little less than 3,000 milliamp hours. So maybe about a third more runtime could have been had if I didn't stop prematurely.